In this video, we'll do a quick overview of the Garmin Tread Base Edition. This is the second iteration of the Tread model. This was originally released back in, I think, November of 2020. This is a revised model. It doesn't include the group radio and I think a few other doodads that came with the expensive price tag. So this is a few $100s cheaper. But in terms of physical dimensions and specs, this is exactly like the ZUMO XT in terms of size and specs. In terms of physical hardware, it's just that the ZUMO XT is configured for motorcycle riding, while the Tread is really designed for off-roading, either in a full-size vehicle or on an ATV, side-by-side, motorcycle, or snowmobile. So just to explain a couple things, we have this booted up and we have updated the firmware and paired with our smartphone as of December 2021. So just explain a couple of things here on the screen. So we have our GPS signal strength indicator here. We have our vehicle profile that you can customize different vehicles. And let's say if you were to add your ATV or side-by-side, you can also enter fuel tank, and then you can get to see how much gas is left in your tank, that kind of stuff. You have your Bluetooth indicator, blue meaning that we're connected to our smartphone. Of course, clock will always have the clock. But once we're paired with our smartphone, we have access to our Garmin Tread app on our smartphone also, and this is the Tread app here. So that means that we have extra data services coming through and displayed on our device, such as the weather. And then this will allow you to also view traffic and radar maps and all this other stuff in a couple other different screens. And here, this is our Wi-Fi. So we're fully connected in a bunch of different ways here. We have a couple big buttons. We have our view map and the Garmin Explorer. One of the differences with the Tread is that you don't need the Garmin Explorer app on your phone. You really just need the Garmin Tread, which is very similar to the Garmin Drive if you have a backup camera or dash cam or the Drive car GPS devices. So this is just a pass-through to access data via your cell phone to populate your device here. So, but you have your Garmin Explorer embedded here. So this is a great tool to get all your data in here. It will record all your tracks and you can organize stuff just like you would in the Garmin Explorer app. So this is a very nice feature. You can also view your map here from the screen, and we'll cover that in other videos. But you have a few quick buttons here. So you have your search, you have your bird's eye. Since we're connected to Wi-Fi, we can download our bird's eye here, or if I shown in a previous video on another model, the Montana 700, showed you how you can do that via your smartphone hotspot. We have pitch and roll controls here. So once we have this thing calibrated on our vehicle, we'll be able to see how bad things are at, like that. Let's see what else here. We have our ABC sensors, right, which is very convenient to have. We have our track recorder here, so we can record tracks and store that. And also, when we're paired to our smartphone, we have access to our music. Also, as part of the setup process, the device will ask you to pair a Bluetooth headset. So that gives you an opportunity to access your music controls from the device. And then from here, we have this little X button is when you're navigating. You can turn off the navigation by quick tapping there. You have some apps, right? One convenient one is the quick access to the owner's manual. Very convenient. We can pair with a compatible inReach, which is inReach Mini or a Map 66i or the Montana 700i. And those are your only options to pair. And then what else we got here? We got a trip planner, share routes, we got tracks. We can deal with the Garmin power switch if you're on your side-by-side, depending on, I believe it's the Alpha product line for dog tracking. You can do that. Let's see what else we got here. Access to our phone. We have access to weather. All right, once we're paired to our smartphone, and same thing with the weather radar. We can take a look at that. always a little bit slow. Right, and then we have a helmet guide based on your jurisdiction. If you're not sure of the local laws, you can always take a look at the law when you're riding. And then of course you can use the BC30, which is the wireless backup camera, and connect and have the backup cam view here. Otherwise, other than that, you get your volume controls here. And you also have your settings. You can wirelessly update your software and maps once you're paired with your smartphone via the Tread app. You can also plug this in and sync the usual way with Garmin Express. Like I said, here you have all your vehicle profiles here, and you have a couple other settings here. You do not have the ability to turn the GPS on and off or switch networks, such as in other GPS systems, but this is about it for in terms of the quick UI. In the back here, pretty simple power button. We have our SD slot here, can accept up to 256 gig card. Has 32 gig internal storage, lots of space. Have just our USB plug that we can use to charge when we're in our vehicle, or not, because the Garmin AC charger plugs into the USB and not into the pins. You have the speaker, which works fairly good, and then you have your mount kit here. Provided, it'll give you, you'll get out of the box the wiring kit. So this is meant to, when you're going to do your installation on your side-by-side, you'll need to bring the power adapter here, plug it in, right? And then get your wires, and then with the provided hardware, you just mount the RAM ball right here. So this is when you're going to really get into installing it on the side-by-side. If you wanted to mount this on your vehicle and then clip, move the device from vehicle to vehicle, you're probably going to need to get another mount and ball here to set up, because otherwise you're going to have the power cable dangling here when you unclip. Other hardware that's provided, you have the actual mounting hardware to mount on your side-by-side or ATV or snowmobile. Fairly straightforward. You also get the provided wiring. You also got a few zip ties. Get the manual, very thin manual, and then you got a couple of face plates. Came with the blue already attached, but I attached this kind of neon green one instead. In terms of size comparison of screens, you can do the landscape or portrait mode and compare it to another device. For example, the Montana 700. You can see that it's just a little bit bigger screen. A little bit bigger. The screen does look a lot brighter on it as compared to the 700 right here. So a little bit better display. However, we'll cover this in other videos, but otherwise this is just your big main overview on the Garmin Tread Base Edition.